Multiplication. Two things with multiplication. The first one is multiplying with more than one factor. Or actually three factors. Multiplying three factors. Let me give you the example and then we'll briefly discuss this here. The three factors being, let's say you have 5 times 7 times 6. 5 times 7 times 6. By the way, if that's a problem that comes up, on your homework paper, you write the problem down like this. Now, because in multiplication we have what's called the commutative property as well. Commutative. I can do what to make that easier? I've got 5, sorry, I've got to do it like this. 5 times 7 times 6. Because of the commutative property, I want to make my life as easy as possible, and I don't want to have to multiply. I could, 5 times 7 is 35, and then 35 times 6. You could do it that way, but you want to use some math stuff to make life a little easier. What does the commutative property tell you that in multiplication you are allowed to do, just like with addition? You can move the numbers around. And what numbers would you suggest I move around? If you were suggesting person. Which of these three, when you multiply, which two numbers would you multiply together that gives you an easy number to multiply with, I should say. So we have 5 times 6. So I would take my 5. Oh, this is going to be too low. If you move this around and put the 6 next, and put the 7 last. Wait, I'll grab it soon. Rather than having to multiply 35 times 6 like I would have to do there, instead I can multiply, what's 5 times 6? 30, and 30 times 7 is a lot easier for me to multiply than it is 35 times 6, even though you will get the same answer, 18. Okay, so you want to, when at all possible, use the commutative property to make your life as easy as humanly possible. Another example might be if you have 10 times 9 times 8, again, you'd write that down first. Which two probably do you want to multiply first? Jake? 9 and 8. Why? Because 10 is the easiest thing to multiply by. Why is 10 easy to multiply by? What do you do when you multiply by 10? You just, well, just do what? Simply, John? Add 0. Yeah. 9 times 8 is 72. When you multiply 72 times 10, it's just 720. You just add that 0 to make sure it's 0. Sometimes people ooh and ah when we get to that point. They're so amazing. Now, and the other thing with multiplication is, and by the way, you can always do it the hard way, but eventually in life you'll say that's, I'm going to do it the easy way. In multiplication also, we're going to have some missing number problems, which means this. They're going to give you a problem that might look like this. W times 3 is 18. You could keep that. Well, I guess, yeah, put it under missing number problem. Here, missing number problems. If you're going to do that tonight,